Hey guys, welcome to the first devotional of 2020. So if you're new on worship team, part of my job is to provide you guys with resources to grow in your walk with God, and these devotionals are a part of that. I try to do one every month, but towards the end of 2019, that did not happen, so I apologize. So in honor of a new year, let's talk a little bit about time itself. When we're kids, we think we've got all the time in the world. But the older we get, we realize that two of the most valuable, limited resources we have are our energy and our time. People say time is money, and I think by that they mean that if you're a business owner or professional, you have to assign a dollar value to your time. But time is precious in a personal way too. Children learn from a very early age that no matter how much we claim to care about them, nothing proves that like just being around. So the real question is, what does God say about time? First, scripture tells us that the function of time is totally under God's control, just like our lives and pretty much everything else. Before the mountains were born, or you brought forth the whole world from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. And of course, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, which we can assume also means that along with that, he created things like gravity and physics and time. But the Bible also implies that God is not bound by time the way that we are. But do not let this one fact escape your notice, beloved, that with the Lord, one day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years like one day. And from Hebrews, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. And that's crazy to try to get our brains around, but I kind of think about it like this. So imagine that you're sitting in like a TV room in a studio or a TV station, and you've got like 20 monitor screens all sitting in front of you. And this screen is showing what's happening right now, and this screen is showing what's happening 2 years from now, and this screen is showing what happened yesterday. And this one is showing 10 years from now, and this one is showing the day you were born. So all these monitors are showing different moments in time, but because you're looking at all of them at the same time, it's all kind of happening now. That's kind of how I think of God when it comes to time. It's like, here's us in our world, and here's time, and God is involved in that, and he's a part of that, but he's also outside of that in a way that we're not. So from God's perspective, the past, present, and future is all kind of now, which is sick because like, why are we wasting our time worrying and stressing about the future when God is literally already there? Number two, scripture also tells us that when it comes to time, there's a certain progression to our lives that God has intended. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to tear down and a time to build. Later on in that same chapter, I have seen the burden God has laid on the human race. He's made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. So there's supposed to be a certain rhythm to our lives, and that means that not everything is going to happen to you at the same time. So whether it's the right job or the right relationship or whatever, there are certain things in life that we're just going to have to wait for. But every season of life has good things and bad things. And I think wisdom means learning how to stop trying to skip ahead and just be where you are. And finally, number three, God seems to care way more about how we spend our time than he does about us understanding how it works. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. So ultimately, God seems to want us to make the most of the time that we have and not get too hung up on what's come before or what might come later on. So no matter how much or how little time we have, if we learn to use our right now wisely, serving him and caring for other people, then we don't need to stress about how much time we might get, as long as we're making the most of right now. Or as Mother Teresa said, yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin. So thanks so much for spending your time watching this video. Feel free to share this link with anybody you think might appreciate it, and have a look around at a few of the other devotionals that are on this channel, because hey, this stuff is for you guys. Thanks so much. I'm Gary Mitchell, and we will see you guys next time. Stay cool, stay blessed, and stay in touch.